Well, the question that many Bulls fans have been asking themselves is who's going to be the new president? Who's going to be the new exec leading the Chicago Bulls? Well, we now have that answer as Bryson Graham has officially been hired by the Chicago Bulls. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. And we got an official hiring. The Chicago Bulls have now officially hired their new lead exec. Bryson Graham has been hired as the executive vice president of basketball operations by the Chicago Bulls. Officially, this just came down from Shams just a few minutes ago. The Chicago Bulls officially tweeted it out 5 minutes ago. So we now have our new exec in the building. This is big for the Chicago Bulls. And when you look at this as well, like Bryson Graham is one of the guys that has, his name popped up, and a lot of people thought it was immediately going to go to Matt Lloyd. He's been with the Atlanta Hawks. He joined the Hawks in 2025 to help bring the leadership to that team. He was the former general manager of the New Orleans Pelicans. And while I know a lot of people are going to ask, hey, why are you going after somebody who was the GM or the vice president of operations or the GM with the New Orleans Pelicans? And when you look at it, the Pelicans' problem has not been that they are unable to draft. Let's look at the players that Bryson Graham has drafted with the New Orleans Pelicans. Herb Jones, really good. Trey Murphy III, excellent, right? He's also, of course, Zion Williamson. He got Jose Alvarado in there as well as an undrafted player. Now, everything hasn't been great. I do think he was the GM that acquired DeJounte Murray, and that hasn't worked out great for them. But he's now with the Atlanta Hawks. He's one of the guys that brought in Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You look at how they had to revamp that team around Jalen Johnson and move on from Trae Young. He was the guy that kind of led that charge as well. And so he's bringing in somebody now who's going to help manage the rebuild for this team. And the big thing that it seems like the Chicago Bulls are really focused on in this search was getting the draft right. And so, now on top of all of this, the Bulls also, for those I know people are going to bring it up, they have their first black president of basketball operations. Not that at the end of the day, you guys know I'm not somebody who brings race into everything. To me, it's more important that somebody does their job right? But, for what it's worth, the Bulls look completely outside the box. They're going outside the family in regards to it as well. And they hire somebody that, has had a key role in drafting really well. He's helped manage the Atlanta Hawks in this new phase that they've been in, and is really good with that one as well. And now we just got to see. I like this. I think this is a really good move by the Chicago Bulls. This is somebody who is, despite what went on with the Pelicans, he has a lot of, positive vibes around him as well. And he's helped this Atlanta Hawks team get out of the play-in, and they were now a legit playoff team this year as well. So you're looking at all those type of things. So this is big. This is big for the Chicago Bulls. They actually now get it, and now we got to see who he's going to hire as his GM, and also who's going to be the next head coach. This now maybe removes Micah Nori from being the next head coach for the Chicago Bulls. And, a lot of people had thought that if Matt Lloyd came on, Micah Nori would be his guy that automatically comes and follows him. This now creates kind of more talk around that head coaching search and who's going to be the next head coach for the Chicago Bulls as well, which is a big thing in regards to all of that. So I think this has been a solid move from this team in regards to it, and now we got to see what's going to happen in regards to this. Had us biting for Matt Lloyd. What a curveball by the Bulls. This is why I said on today's episode, hey, keep in mind, all this stuff is just rumors right now. And while somebody like Joe Cali has been tooting their own horn a lot about, oh my God, I got this right and that right. Yeah. This is why I always say what I say about Joe Cali. Sometimes Joe Cali is somebody who drinks his own Kool-Aid very much so. And so once Joe Cali felt like he was in the front running of talking about the Chicago Bulls front office and that firing happening, he started feeling himself a little bit too much. So there you go in regards to that one, man. But hey, this is a really good hiring, I feel like, as well. By the way, he avoided the Pelicans and the Hawks' worst decisions. Hawks drafting Risha and Pelicans trading their pick. He got that pick from the Pelicans, so I don't know what this could. I don't know. This could be a home run. It very well could be a home run. He's shown himself to be able to draft really well. He's made really smart decisions when it comes down to it as well. So we just got to keep seeing how this is going to develop. Now we need our GM. Absolutely. Now we do need our new GM as well, and we'll see what's going to happen in regards to that part of it. So, hey, we'll see. But all right, let's see how else you guys are feeling about it. Let's try to get a GM at least before the draft lottery. Come on now. Love that we hit the reset 6 years of crap, man. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though. Even if we don't have a GM in place before the draft combine, Bryson Graham has been so good at scouting, right? He's had really good success in drafts when it comes down to it. I think that he's going to be ready and prepared for this draft, I feel like, as well. And keep in mind, he was the senior vice president of basketball operations with the Atlanta Hawks as well. So he kind of already has some draft intel. I would think that he kind of has that as well. We just got to keep seeing what's going to happen with this. And this guy played college basketball as well. So he is a former player. Also, he did help the team reach the Sweet 16 when he played for Texas A&M also. So, hey, it is what it is there. Being the first, anything is good. Let's see if he's good at the job. Exactly. Let's see if he's good at the job. Rondo, please. Oh, I like the Rondo. I like the Rondo part of it. I like that. I'm reserving my feelings about it until I do more research. I'm sure kind of us know anything about him. I'm sure. Oh, what I got you covered, Mike. I did a in detailed video on when all the GM candidates came out. I did a very in depth. I went over everything they've ever done in their career. You have to search the video. I don't remember what I titled it off the top of my head, but I got you covered on the research. I mean, do your own research if you want to, but I talked a lot about it, about what he's done in his career. He's a guy that is really good at talent evaluation. He's done that. He's been considered one of the best young talent evaluators around the league for a while. He's really good at college scouting as well. I don't know how he is about international scouting. I have to go and look at that part myself, and that's just something that just came up in my head. He could be good in that too, but I know college scouting he's really good at. His drafting as a GM was Yves Missi, Ace Newell, so I'm not much sample size. Oh, you're missing. It wasn't just that. He was part of the scouting team that was there with Zion and Trey Murphy and Dyson Daniels. He absolutely had a part in scouting and drafting those guys. You got to keep in mind, you don't know by the title. Go and do the research. He was one of the guys that was a key in drafting Trey Murphy. He personally went out and scouted Trey Murphy. He went to, I believe, 15 of Trey Murphy's games personally when he scouted him out. Even though he didn't have the title, this is why I did that in-depth research. He was really instrumental in getting Trey Jones and Murphy there. He was hugely important in that one. He played a key role in that. Even the people in Atlanta have given him credit for that. So this is why you can't just go off titles when you try to figure out what somebody does, because every NBA front office has its own structure, its own responsibilities within that structure and stuff like that. This is a really good acquisition. I think he brings a lot of really good expertise when it comes down to his ability to draft as well. Skin color doesn't mean shit to me, but this is signs. Michael is definitely calling the shots. Maybe they're learning from the Bears. You know what? I can't fight you on that one. That is a very, very good point there, Ant, the big homie. That is a good point there as well. It just, you know what this does show? Say what you will. We'll see if it's going to be successful or not. But this does show that Michael Reinsdorf is thinking outside the box, because here's the thing. I think a lot of people kind of expected and would not have been surprised if the Chicago Bulls hired Matt Lloyd, because they went outside the family to get AK. This is another outside the family move. This guy has no prior ties to the Chicago Bulls, organization. So, hey. I'm never a Bulls boomer, but I fucking hate this. Why do you hate this hire? Why do you hate this hire? Give me reasons why you hate this hire. I think this is a really good. If you look at what he's done, he's actually done pretty damn well in his job. I'm willing to bet that it would have been Lloyd and Nori if the T-Wolves were eliminated this past week. I mean, what we've heard is that it wouldn't have stopped them. Like, they weren't looking at the playoffs wouldn't have stopped them from announcing the person who would have been it. My personal opinion. I mean, and that's what we've read, but take everything with a grain of salt. I dig it. Young guy, he's made some good decisions, isn't afraid to make trades. I like it. Exactly. And I think when you look at how he's navigated the whole Trae Young thing, like, that's not something that you can overlook, in my personal opinion. Like, moving on, keep in mind, something that we've said that AK was reluctant to do was move off of players when they needed to. He came in, last season was his first season, well, in 2024-25 was his first season taking over the Atlanta Hawks. This past season was his second year, and it didn't take him long to realize, oh, no, we need to build around Jalen Johnson. We need to build and construct this thing around Jalen Johnson. So, we're on the 4 shortlist players. Did you have Graham Hayes? I had Matt Lloyd above him, and I had Dave Tillep above him as well. Those are the guys I had above him, and then it was Bryson Graham, if I'm not mistaken. Go back and hold me accountable. Look at that video, but I believe I had him 3rd on my list. We needed someone ready to prove themselves. Good pickup. Yeah, agree. Hopefully he watched college games before the trade deadline, like AK said. That is hilarious. Oh, man. That was something. When AK said, I guess we need to start watching college games, and I know he didn't mean it literally that they were just going to start watching college players, but it was something that frustrated the holy hell out of me, man. Tiago Splitter, Rajon Rondo. I'm good on Jason Kidd. Well, here's the thing. Jason Kidd reportedly wants a front office role. So if the Bulls were to give him a combination of like co-GM and head coach, maybe he'd come over here. I don't hate the idea of Jason Kidd as a head coach. I don't hate it, but we'll see. Not gonna lie, I'm disappointed because I love Matt Lloyd, no Diddy. I mean, I think it's a lot of Bulls fans fell in love with the idea of Matt Lloyd because of his name being brought up so much and it being reported that he was the odds-on favorite. So then naturally you kind of start settling in on that. But, it is what it is, man. I'm not going to lie, I wanted Matt, but this isn't a bad hire. We just got to wait and see what he does. The GM and the staff he picks up, I would like him to have a right hand like Poles. Exactly. He's going to need somebody there for sure. Hayes, you rock. I'm back in on the Bulls, so I'll be watching every episode. Again, appreciate you, Colin. Appreciate you, brother. Is the Celtics guy still in the running for GM? Well, it was never officially stated that he was going to be the GM. That was kind of more of a speculative thing. But if he does end up coming over as the GM, I don't think anybody's going to be mad at it. So we'll see. I love this hire. I'm glad they thought outside the box. Agreed with you there. Completely agree with you. Hayes, Graham is 39. Do you think he hires an older GM to help him or keep the youth movement? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I guess we'll see in regards to that. He could go with a more longer-term guy. Like, the fact that me and Bryson Graham are the same age is crazy, right? Because I don't think people realize how young that is to be the president of an NBA team, to be that young. It's crazy. It's crazy. Will you live stream the press? Absolutely. That's what we do here, Ricardo. Absolutely. That's absolutely. Jerry says, C-Red, we definitely get a top 4 pick, but either way, I'm excited to see what's in the future. I won't say we definitely get in the future top 4 pick, but hey, keep up those good vibes. Let's see. Hayes, do you know what GM and head coach he's going to bring? Is going to be the first time head coach assistant? I don't know. I'll probably dive into that a little bit more on tomorrow's daily episode. So look what I drop tomorrow morning. We'll probably get into the weeds on that and what that means for the Bulls for sure. Let's go. Maybe Lewin could still be in the pipeline for GM. Could very well be. He could very well be. That'll be 2 fairly young guys, innovative guys that are on top of analytics, that are both scouting and all those type of things. Well, that's what it could be. People said great things about AK for what he supposedly did with the Nuggets before coming here, not buying it. Well, the difference is that he actually was in that role. But listen, I understand anybody having a little bit of trepidation about it. Like, I said it on today's episode. I can't blame any Bulls fan for wanting to take the wait-and-see approach on this hire. I can't blame any Bulls fan for that. I like it. Young guy that can sniff out talent. I feel like our resources, he has a chance to make some splashes early. I think young GMs is the new wave in the league. It could very well be. So Matt Lloyd can still be our GM? No, because Matt Lloyd is currently the GM. It has to be a promotion. So keep that in mind. If you're going to hire somebody that's currently with another team's front office under contract, it has to be a promotion. So the chance of Matt Lloyd becoming the GM is probably slim unless the Minnesota Timberwolves give him permission to take the job, which they could do. I guess we'll see there. Hayes, do you know what GM? You already asked that, Rod. I hate when people don't double ask questions. I'm going to get to it. Don't double ask questions. I'm going to get to it. Like the hire, he did a good job in Atlanta. Salute to the ownership for getting it right. Well, let's wait and see what he does before we can say we got it right? Like, it's a good hire, it's an innovative hire, and it is somebody that on paper could be really good at this job. But we can't really say that we got it right for a while, right? It's not even going to take just, this offseason. It's going to take a while to say for sure if they got this hire right. But, we'll see. We'll see. If he's able to get the Bulls into a championship level team and consistent contention, he'll be a legend. This is Bulls after not the Utah Jazz. Ain't just any NBA franchise. This is an iconic brand. Yeah, I mean, listen, me and Pat talk about this a lot over Locked On Bulls. If you win in Chicago, if you build something sustainable in Chicago, you're a legend in this city. There's just period, point blank. You're a legend in this city. And, the Reinsdorf's are always going to have a job for you. Imagine being happy that Reinsdorf's made another move on behalf of the Chicago Bulls. Imagine being such a dumbass that you don't understand that ownership is not just going to sell, and that doesn't mean that good things can't happen under this ownership. Imagine being such a dumbass and a whiny crybaby-ass bitch that that's what you decide to say and that you think you cooking by saying some dumb shit like that. Imagine that. That's the bigger thing that you got to worry about. For someone who's in the business, if you want to keep growing, stop getting into it. No, I'm going to keep doing what the fuck I want to do because I've grown up until this point being me, and I'm going to keep doing what the fuck I want to do. I don't care about being good or better in somebody else's eyes. I care about being me. So I don't have any peers. That's the first thing. The first thing is the Chicago Bulls Central is the only independently owned podcast that's mentioned in the same breath as ones that are owned and ran by corporations. Keep that in mind. Keep in mind when you search Chicago Bulls on any podcast app and platform, Chicago Bulls Central is the first one that comes up, and at least in the top 3. The only one that's a completely independent and I don't have peers. I have coworkers. I have people that are in the organization with me. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I'm going to diss whoever the fuck I want to, and I'm going to speak my fucking mind because guess what? Doing that is what exactly got me here. So fuck you. Fuck anybody else. I'll say it on this one. Fuck Ricky O'Donnell, right? Fuck anybody who got a fucking Mark K. And anybody who doesn't put in fucking work that like I do, and I'm the only, all this shit is me. The graphics, the video, all that shit is me. I don't have a media team. I don't have a graphic designer. All that shit is me. So no, I'm perfectly successful where I am. Work for ESPN, work for Bleacher Report, work for Warner Sports. You know how I got all of that? Doing exactly what the fuck I want to do. So you and anybody else who's sensitive about it can suck my black ass dick because guess what? Hayes is going to keep doing what the fuck Hayes want to do. That's how I got here. That's how I'm going to stay here. And if anybody got a problem with it, you can unsubscribe to this motherfucker. So if you were more worried about your own shit and probably less worried about what other people think, you wouldn't be a bald-headed black ass hoe. That's probably what you would not be if that was the case. So how about you worry more about that? Go find yourself some Rogaine, rub some coochie juice on your scalp so maybe it can grow back and you can actually look like you're not a walking around thumb with eyes. That's what you need to worry more about, all right? How about you worry about that? Now, with that said, let's get back to the show. Like come on now. Like, don't turn up Petty Roosevelt. Do not turn up Petty Roosevelt. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. If y'all complaining, just get the fuck out of here. Exactly. Joining into your live streams and hear you talk trash always brings a smile to my face. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. And this wasn't even unrequested. I was chilling. As a professional marketing communications firm owner, keep doing what you're doing. Love all of it, man. Keep it up. Can't fake authenticity. Thank you for that. I very well appreciate for that. Hayes, I'm confused. If he's the vice president of basketball operations, who's the president? We don't have a president of so even Arturis's role was vice president of basketball operations. We said president of basketball operations just because the vice part, it is what it is. Executive vice president of basketball operations. We don't have a role of president. I guess maybe that will fall to Michael Reinsdorf if you're looking for anything for that. Maybe you can call Michael Reinsdorf that. So you're doing good work, Hayes. Fuck the haters. We love this channel. Appreciate you. Talk your shit then, Hayes. Damn, I just came in here. Listen, you already know what y'all know how I get down. Hayes, do we have a better idea now on some potential head coaches candidates? I'm gonna zero in on that and cover that probably for tomorrow's daily episode, bro. I got you covered. Let him cook. Listen, see, William is somebody that me and William used to go to battle, right? But it was with respect. We can have a disagreement. We can battle a basketball take. But if you come here saying some dumb shit, I'm going to cook you. Me and William will disagree all day long. But I know that he knows basketball. So when we disagree about he had a little moment where he used to try to get a little snippy with me, but we cool. So it is what it is. Bro, watching Hayes be giving me life. Hey, listen, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, y'all. That's what I'm here for. Hayes rant blasting through my van speakers as I get my kid from school. My bad, bro. My bad, man. Let me not do that. My bad. The children are watching. This is why we watch Hayes, y'all. This man is a fucking real one. Listen, I'm gonna be myself. That's it. I'm not going to change for nobody. And if anybody doesn't want to advertise on Chicago Bulls Central or something because of who I am, that's perfectly fine. I've done this show for 1,794 straight days. I'm not going to be able to do that if I can't be me. I've already spent my life punching the clock for somebody else and living by their rules. I do this for me. That's what it is. A lot of cap space, 4 draft picks, a top 3 market, and one of the best sports brands in the business. And I'm calling us moving into the top 4, and the combine is coming. Great week for basketball. Hey, and keep in mind, the Bulls have no long-term bad money. The closest thing we have to bad money is Patrick Williams, and that's $18 million, right? You got to look at some teams have bad contracts of $25, $30 million. The Bulls don't have that. Look at the Kings and their roster, right? Like, Patrick Williams' contract is bad because nobody else is going to take it, but the Bulls also don't have long-term bad money on their books either. So that's a good thing to look at. Yeah, you're the only place I get my Bulls news. Don't even know those other guys. Appreciate that, fam. Walked into a flame session. Listen, and it's funny because it didn't even need to be that. It really didn't even need to be that. I was just chilling. It didn't even need to be that. Yo, Hayes, did he have anything to do with Gabe Vincent? I don't think so. I'd have to look deeper into that. What year did Gabe Vincent come into the league? I can tell you that right off the top of my head because he was with the Pelicans for 5 seasons, and that ended in 2024. So that means he was probably there since the 2018-19 season. So he may have had something to do with Gabe Vincent. He definitely may have had something to do with Gabe Vincent for sure. Petty Roosevelt is back. Talk your shit, Hayes. I appreciate that. Steve-O, you got to go to earlier in the episode. Like, he started off as the general manager. He initially went to the New Orleans Hornets in 2010-11. So he worked himself all the way up there. He was an intern, an unpaid intern, worked himself up, eventually became the general manager of the New Orleans Pelicans in 2024. And then he moved on to the Atlanta Hawks after that. So, he moved in 2018-19 is when he became the general manager of the Pelicans. He left there in 2024 to come over to the Atlanta Hawks. So this is a guy that, despite only being 39 years old, he's been working in the NBA for 16 years. So, crazy. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a fan of this hire. What the fuck are the Bulls doing? This feels so out of left field. Graham would be good as a GM. He's so young, still so young to be president. I don't think you can't go off youth. You go off the experience. He has 16 years of NBA experience. 16. He's already been the general manager. He's already been senior vice president. Vice president is the next escalation of where he's already been. So I can't say that he's too young for it because he has the experience to do it. What if P. Will is cold? What if this new coach unlocks him? Listen, if a new coach can get P. Will to finally unlock, that motherfucker's going to be a god. Like, if a new coach comes in and gets P. Will to actually unleash, imagine what he can do to Modest. Imagine what that can do for Noah Essengate. So, hey, if it happens, it happens. Listen, I won't be mad at it if it happens. So, Giddy for Anthony Black. Also, Trey Murphy should be on the Bulls hit list. Well, reportedly it was at the trade deadline. Now, they sniffed around that. They couldn't get a deal done because the Pels wanted multiple first-round picks. But, hey, we'll see. Can this first move be trading away Patrick Williams? That would be a hell of a first move. Hell of a first move if he's able to get that done. So, we shall see. Happy with the pickup and ready for a new era. Curious if you think They may have rushed this pick with Matt Lloyd and Dennis Lindsey still currently in the playoffs. So does that not matter? I mean, what was reported was that it didn't matter, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't. It could have been that maybe they didn't want to wait around for that, especially with the draft lottery and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. No negativity, bro. Everyone don't like this move. Just be paid. Listen, and it's fine. What the Bulls have been through, what Bulls fans have been through, I can't knock any Bulls fan for looking at this and thinking, I'm not sure, right? Like, and that's fair, right? And I think that Bryson Graham is going to come in here and have to prove it. And luckily, this offseason, he has a lot of tools at his disposal to prove some things right away. So we'll see. We'll see, right? We'll see. But all right, y'all, I appreciate you guys so much, man. You guys are nothing less than amazing. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. Let me know your thoughts on this hire down below. We'll see what this is going to be. Like I said, I have a more in-detailed video tomorrow on who we could hire as his GM, who could be the next head coach for the Chicago Bulls. Make sure you guys are hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. You can follow us at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all. Peace. I didn't have my intro queued. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.